December 8, 2025. As winter deepens across the northern hemisphere, Europe stands at the threshold of a potentially turbulent weather period. The days are short, the nights are long, and the atmosphere is primed for change. Over the vast Atlantic, a large trough of low pressure stretches across the ocean, its swirling clouds hinting at the energy building within. This trough acts as a conveyor belt, drawing in moisture and cool air, setting the stage for dynamic weather patterns. Meanwhile, a powerful high-pressure system sits firmly over Russia, dominating the eastern landscape. This high acts like a massive atmospheric wall, blocking weather systems from moving eastward and keeping the skies clear and calm over much of Eastern Europe and Russia. These two opposing forces, the Atlantic Trough and the Russian High, are setting up a classic meteorological battleground over Europe. Where they meet, the atmosphere becomes a zone of tension, ripe for dramatic developments. The Atlantic lows are typical for this time of year, bringing rain, gusty winds, and choppy seas to the western coasts. For now, these systems are not yet severe, but their presence is a reminder of the ocean's restless energy. What's especially notable is the pattern unfolding above. The jet stream is showing big, wavy meanders, with atmospheric rivers snaking across the sky. These undulations are a classic sign of increasing instability, often a precursor to more active and unpredictable weather. Across much of Europe, people are enjoying a mild, calm spell. The air is crisp but gentle, and the winter sun occasionally breaks through the clouds. Yet, for meteorologists, this tranquility is likely the calm before the storm. A brief pause before the weather takes a dramatic turn. The contrast between the cold, stormy Atlantic air and the stable, high-pressure block in the east is building a strong temperature gradient across the continent. This sharp difference in temperature is the fuel that can power future storms, making the atmosphere even more volatile. The high over Russia is acting as a stubborn wall, forcing Atlantic systems to either slow down, intensify, or divert their paths. This blocking pattern can lead to prolonged periods of unsettled weather, as systems pile up and grow stronger. Meteorologists across Europe are watching the evolving situation closely. The next 10 days could bring a dramatic shift, with the potential for powerful winds, heavy rain, and even disruptive storms. Forecast models are hinting at a period of heightened activity, and preparations are already underway in some regions. The stage is set for an active storm track, with the Atlantic primed to send waves of energy toward the continent. Each new system has the potential to bring significant impacts, depending on how the atmospheric battle unfolds. The Atlantic is primed for action, and Europe should be ready for a potential weather shakeup. As clouds build and winds begin to stir, communities across the region are bracing for what could be a memorable December. The waiting game has begun. All eyes are on the skies, as Europe stands poised on the edge of a changing season, ready to face whatever the weather may bring. To understand what's coming, we need to talk about the jet stream, a fast-flowing river of air high above us, steering our weather. This invisible current, thousands of kilometers long, acts like a highway for storms and weather systems, shaping the climate patterns we experience every day. It's a force of nature that can bring calm or chaos depending on its mood. When the jet stream is strong and straight, weather is stable. Skies remain clear, winds are gentle, and conditions are predictable. This is when we see long stretches of calm, sunny days or steady, gentle rains, nothing too extreme. But now it's meandering, signaling big changes. The jet stream is no longer a straight path. It's twisting and turning, creating dips and peaks that disrupt the usual flow of weather. This waviness is a warning sign that the atmosphere is becoming more unstable. The jet stream is powered by the temperature difference between the poles and the tropics, which peaks in winter. As cold air builds up near the poles and warm air lingers in the tropics, the contrast creates a powerful energy gradient, fueling the jet stream's speed and strength. Forecasts show the jet stream over the Atlantic will accelerate around December 9th and 10th, reaching speeds over 300 km/h. That's nearly as fast as some of the world's most powerful hurricanes, and it means the atmosphere is primed for action. This energy helps spin up powerful storms below. As the jet stream roars overhead, it injects momentum into the air masses beneath it, setting the stage for rapid storm development. When the jet stream curves, it pulls air upward, kickstarting storm formation. These rising columns of air can quickly grow into massive storm systems, especially when fueled by the jet stream's intense winds. A stronger, more contorted jet stream means deeper, faster-growing storms. The more twisted the jet stream, the more energy it transfers to the storms below, making them larger and more dangerous. By mid-December, wind speeds could rocket to 340 km/h, creating perfect conditions for explosive storm development. These are the kinds of winds that can turn an ordinary low-pressure system into a major weather event in just hours. This supercharged jet stream is why forecasters are on high alert. They're watching every twist and turn, knowing that even a small change could mean the difference between a minor storm and a major disaster. The potential for rapid storm intensification is real. As the jet stream flexes its muscles, the atmosphere becomes a breeding ground for powerful, fast-growing storms that can impact millions of people across continents. Now, a surge of cold Arctic air is entering the mix, sweeping down from the far north and setting the stage for dramatic changes in the atmosphere. This isn't just a gentle breeze, it's a powerful mass of frigid air, capable of transforming weather patterns across vast distances. High pressure near Alaska and low pressure over Canada are working together, funneling this icy air southward over the North Atlantic. The pressure difference acts like a conveyor belt, accelerating the flow and pushing the cold air into regions where it doesn't usually reach so quickly. As this cold, dry air collides with the much warmer ocean surface, a dramatic temperature contrast forms. This sharp difference in temperature is like adding fuel to a fire. It's the perfect setup for powerful storms to develop as the atmosphere becomes primed for instability. The warm ocean water heats the air above, causing it to rise rapidly. As the air lifts, it becomes saturated with moisture, making the environment even more unstable. This process injects energy and humidity into the atmosphere, creating the ideal breeding ground for intense storm systems. The ongoing clash between cold and warm air, combined with the powerful energy of the jet stream overhead, sets the stage for rapid cyclogenesis, the explosive birth of new storms. The jet stream acts as a high-speed river of air, helping storms grow and intensify at a remarkable pace. Weather models are now showing this process ramping up after December 13th, with conditions becoming increasingly favorable for storm development. Forecasters are closely monitoring the data, watching for signs of rapid changes in pressure and wind patterns. The combination of Arctic air and a supercharged jet stream could trigger the formation of powerful low-pressure systems, capable of bringing severe weather to the North Atlantic and beyond. These systems can develop quickly, catching even seasoned meteorologists by surprise. As these storms deepen, they may generate extreme winds, whipping up massive waves and creating hazardous conditions for ships and coastal communities. The potential for damaging gusts and turbulent seas is high, making this a period of heightened risk. All the ingredients are now in place. Meteorologists are on high alert, watching to see just how intense these Atlantic storms will become. The coming days could bring a series of powerful weather events, each with the potential to impact millions. The next chapter in Europe's weather drama is about to unfold as the continent braces for the arrival of these potentially historic storms. The ECMWF model, one of the world's most reliable, is forecasting intense storm development over the Atlantic for mid-December. It highlights two major low-pressure systems. The first deepens as it crosses the ocean, with central pressure dropping to around 951 HPA, very strong. Wind gusts could reach 160 km/h. The second system is even more concerning, predicted to undergo explosive cyclogenesis, its pressure plummeting by over 40 HPA in less than a day. This weather bomb could generate hurricane-force winds. As it nears the British Isles and Western Europe, gusts could hit 220 km/h over the open Atlantic, equivalent to a Category 3 or 4 hurricane. While not tropical, the storm's winds could be just as destructive. This extreme scenario is why meteorologists are sounding the alarm. Europe could be facing a major windstorm. Hurricane-force winds aren't exclusive to tropical storms. They're defined as sustained winds of 119 km/h or more. The ECMWF model predicts gusts up to 220 km/h, rare for European storms. Winds at this level can uproot trees, damage buildings, and bring down power lines. At 200 km/h, even sturdy homes are at risk. Flying debris becomes deadly, and travel is impossible. Even if peak winds stay offshore, Coastal areas could see gusts of 160 km/h, storm surges, and massive waves. The storm's size means its impact could be widespread. While this is a winter storm, not a hurricane, the threat is just as serious. The mechanism is different, driven by temperature contrasts, not warm seas, but the result is the same: destructive winds. If the forecast holds, Western Europe must prepare for a high-impact event. The ECMWF's extreme forecast is just one perspective. The American GFS model tells a different story, showing a strong storm but not hurricane-force winds for Europe. The GFS places the storm's core further from land, reducing the threat. It does hint at another system tracking toward Poland, but confidence is low. The German ICON model, with shorter range, agrees on an active Atlantic but keeps severe weather offshore for now. Only the ECMWF currently predicts a direct high-impact windstorm for Western Europe. The GFS and ICON see strong storms, but not the same level of danger. This kind of model disagreement is common in medium-range forecasting. The ECMWF's scenario is a first signal, one to watch closely as new data comes in. Meteorologists are waiting to see if other models confirm or refute this extreme outlook. Comparing models reveals a key split. ECMWF predicts a dramatic hurricane-force storm for Western Europe, while GFS and ICON show a more moderate scenario. This highlights the uncertainty of long-range forecasts. Small differences in initial conditions can lead to big changes. The ECMWF may be picking up on a subtle atmospheric trigger, or it could be overestimating the threat. The main difference is in the track and intensity of the secondary low-pressure system. ECMWF steers it toward the British Isles. GFS keeps it further north. The result could be a major disaster or just a glancing blow. For now, confidence is low but potential impact is high. Meteorologists are watching for model consensus to increase confidence in the forecast. If the ECMWF's extreme scenario plays out, Western Europe is most at risk. Ireland and the UK would be on the front line, facing winds far beyond typical winter storms. France, the Netherlands, Belgium, Denmark, and Western Germany could also be hit, depending on the storm's path. Coastal areas face the double threat of destructive winds and storm surge. Central and Eastern Europe, shielded by high pressure, would see less severe impacts, mainly breezy, warmer weather. The bullseye is on Atlantic-facing nations. Preparations are essential if the forecast holds. Everyone should monitor local forecasts, as a small shift could change who's most affected. The key message: stay alert as Europe heads into a potentially stormy mid-December. The calm spell is likely ending, with the Atlantic and jet stream primed for action. While only one model shows hurricane-force winds, all forecasts agree on a stormy trend. Western Europe should monitor updates and prepare for possible severe weather. Central and Eastern Europe will see windier, wetter conditions, but less direct threat. We're in a watch-and-wait period. Don't panic, but stay informed and ready. Weather science gives us early warning. Use it to prepare. We'll keep tracking developments as this December weather story unfolds.